Alright, let's see how did the voting go. Well, I wonder why. Hey everyone, Uncle Milkshake here. Today we are gonna have a good look at this very beautiful ship right here, Vittorio Veneto.
ごきげんよう指揮官様。サディア帝国のアンミラーリオ、ビットリオ・ベネトと言います。失礼を承知で申し上げますが、あなたには私をうまく使いこなす自信がおありですか？
Vittorio is a super rare battleship from Sardinia Empire. She is of the Vittorio Veneto class, and alongside her are her sisters Impero, Vittorio, and Roma. Please, when is the next rerun for Roma? I need this character so sorry. Anyway, her voice actress is Mamiko Noto, who also voiced Shinano in Azur Lane. She has many other roles like Durandal from Honkai Impact 3rd, Yukako Yamagishi from JoJo Part 4, Lara Tiber from Attack on Titan, and many more. Okay, so let's talk about references. There are quite a number of references in her self-introduction line alone. Firstly, she says that expectations of her were high since her birth. This could be a reference to her name, which was named after the Battle of Vittorio Veneto, which was when the Italians won over the Austro-Hungarian Empire during World War I. Among other reasons, this victory was deemed important as it marked the end of the war on the Italian front and contributed to the end of World War I just a week later. She also says that she inherited the flag following a horrific night. This could be a reference to the British air raid on the harbour in Taranto. During the raid, Illustrious launched 21 swordfish torpedo bombers that attacked in two waves. The defenders at Taranto did not have radar, so they were caught by surprise. Even though Vittorio Veneto was undamaged, 3 other battleships were hit, 2 of which were severely damaged. After the raid, Vittorio Veneto led the Italian fleet to Naples, where she became the fleet's flagship. Furthermore, she says that she ultimately failed to lead her friends to victory, which is a reference to the fact that even though she survived the war, she ended up on the losing side and surrendered to the Allies after Italy withdrew from the war.
期待されながら生を受け、危機の夜に旗を引き継ぎ、ついには仲間のために勝利を得ることが叶わず。楽しい昔話ではありませんね。というわけで、指揮官様には期待していますよ。
Vittorio has several lines about the Royal Navy and Illustrious. Apart from Illustrious, who is a reference to the air raid on Taranto, the rest are references to her 3 years under British control after Italy withdrew from the war.
ロイヤルの方々との食事の予定がありますけど、指揮官様もご一緒にどうでしょう。ロイヤルの皆様、いい戦いを。あのイラストリアスと一緒にお茶会ができるとは、運命はきなりと言わざるを得ませんね。
She also highly recommends you to one of Sardinia Empire's baths, which is of course a reference to the famous Roman bathhouses in Italy.
総機関としてこんな発言は恐縮ですが、お風呂に入ることで帝国の意向に感銘を受けてもらえるのなら、それもいいかなと。
One of her idol lines talks about her cannons, which she says that they are not to be underestimated. Her skills also focuses a lot on boosting her own damage, and she has the 12th highest firepower stat among all the battleships and battlecruisers so far. True enough, her 15-inch guns were actually the most powerful of their caliber because they had very good muzzle velocity. They also had the longest range of any rifles mounted on a battleship. For comparison, these guns could fire 884.8 kg AP rounds, at a range of 42.8 kilometers at a max elevation of plus 36 degrees. This was 800 meters further than the 46-45 Type 94 guns of the Yamato class and 4,000 meters further than the 1650 Mark 7 guns of the Iowa class ships. This amazing performance of using AP rounds was also referenced in her skill, the Banner of Splendor, which increases her own firepower by 12% when using AP main guns.
口径だけでは砲の威力は測れません。この15インチ砲を侮った者は軽率さの代償を支払うことになりましょう。
Once you off her, she mentions that Vittorio has a tendency to rely on her for help. During the war, both sisters went on many operations together, but Vittorio is the less fortunate one, as she gets torpedoed and bombed while Vittorio leaves undamaged. So in a sense, because of how often Vittorio got hurt, she will need to depend on Vittorio for help.
指揮官様はビットリオと似ているところがありますね。時々私に世話を焼かせるところです。
One of her skins is called the Flower of La Spezia. La Spezia is a port city in Italy, and Vittorio spends a lot of time there throughout her service. Because this place is a port city, it is not surprising that she is lying on a yacht in this skin. And woo boy, look at that skin though. Alright, so let's talk about skills. The first skill is called the Eternal Flagship. Every 15 seconds, there is a 75% chance to fire a special barrage, which damage is based on the skill's level. If this barrage fails to activate, instead targets one random enemy and increases its damage taken by 10% for 8 seconds. This special barrage consists of 3 AP rounds followed by 3 HE rounds fired along the same trajectory. I also like the fact that it has a backup plan if it fails to activate, because at today's standards, 75% activation rate is decent. It's not the worst, but it's also not the best either. Based on this skill, I think she's better for bosses because all the rounds in the barrage move along a single trajectory, and she increases damage to one random enemy if the barrage fails. Moreover, the barrage trajectory is not locked to a specific position, as it can still hit center targets even though she isn't in the center of the main fleet. Her next skill is called Eternal Light of Sardinia. At the start of the battle, increases firepower, torpedo, and evasion by 15% for all Sardinia ships in your vanguard, and increases firepower, aviation, and accuracy by 12% for all Sardinia ships in your main fleet. For each additional Sardinia ship in the same fleet, up to 2 at most, decreases the loading time of this ship's first salvo by 40%. This is a very good support skill for Sardinia Empire ships. What's even better is that it also applies to herself even though she's the only Sardinia Empire ship in the fleet. This is amazing because it buffs very important stats like firepower and accuracy for the main fleets. Also, the decrease in loading time for the first salvo is really dumb, but in a good way, cause that's effectively 80% decreased loading time with 2 additional Sardinia ships. Pair that with the high performance fire control radar and her already high reload stat, the loading time of the first salvo can pretty much become a preloaded one, and that's insane. This fire control radar also gives a very big boost to accuracy, which is what Vittorio lacks, as she has currently one of the lowest accuracies in the game so far, ranking 24th out of a total of 26. Her last skill is called Banner of Splendor. At the start of the battle, if your fleet contains at least one other Sardinia ship, or if this ship has an AP main gun equipped, increases this ship's firepower by 12%. Additionally, for the first 3 battles of a sortie, the fleet this ship is in takes 20% less damage from torpedoes. This is also another amazing skill because it increases her damage potential and complements her amazing firepower stat. Best part to me is that you don't necessarily need to put an AP gun on her unless you are running a non-Sardinia Empire fleet. I guess this gives you more flexibility to use what type of main gun to use, so it comes down to the enemies involved and the multipliers of the guns. Also, 20% reduction from torpedo damage is amazing. Alright, so let's talk about builds. For main guns, as mentioned before, it really depends. If you want to run a non-Sardinia Empire fleet, though you won't get the max benefits, or the stage has a lot of medium and heavy armored units, you can choose these AP guns. Reload doesn't really matter too much because of her skill and her good reload stat, so best is to maximize her high damage potential. The first is the Rainbow Twin 457mm, which can be obtained from research, the prototype shop, or gear lab. For more damage, you can rock the Rainbow Triple 460mm, though this is for those who manage to get it from the Musashi event. Lastly is the 446mm, which can be acquired from research. Similarly for HE main guns, you can go with the all reliable Purple Mark 6 or the Rainbow Mark 7 if you got it from the Mirror Involution event. Another option is the 33381mm from research or Gear Lab. As for secondaries, I'd go with AP CL guns because AP shells travel faster, making them good against suicide boats. CL guns are generally better than DD guns as they add more firepower to your ships, so the higher the rarity, the more firepower. You can rock the twin 152mm as the more accessible option. Other better choices are the triple 152mm with the best reload, the Rainbow Quad 152mm for best damage, or the triple 152mm model 1934, though its reload is the slowest among the four. Okay, so let's talk about skins, and her first one is her default skin, and this is very nice, though that shining light coming out from her sword is very blinding. Anyway, I love how symmetrical the art looks as she's in the middle of the architecture behind her. As for her outfit, it's alright because I'm pretty sure we have seen similar styles before. But her hair though, it is so fluffy.
He's so fluffy, I'm gonna die!
Overall, I rate this a 8.5 out of 10. Okay, so her next skin is called the Flower of La Spezia, and holy sh**, you want fan service? This skin is yours for 1180 gems. So yeah, this is a solid 10 out of 10 skin. I mean, do I really need to explain more? Alright, so what are my thoughts about Vittorio? Just like other faction buffers, Vittorio is no exception. She is amazing at supporting Sardinia Empire fleets, and she has very high damage potential. She also has great flexibility as you can run her with other non-Sardinia fleets and still get her own self buffs, but I highly don't recommend it as you'll be missing out on the other supportive buffs she provides. I mean, this requires no explanation, so if there is one ship other than your favorite during her event, she is the one you should really try to aim for. Alright, so there you have it. Here are all my thoughts about Vittorio. What do you guys think? Do let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do leave a like if you guys did, subscribe for more awesome content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.